Welcome to the Croquet Desk, your AI-hosted show. The Croquet Desk, MacRobertson Shield, Day 3 of Round 1, and the centenary edition is starting to take shape. In games, England lead their test against Australia 21-5. New Zealand lead the United States 15 games to 13. England came in as the defending champions. They won every test in 2022. And nothing so far suggests that pedigree is under any pressure. Today was doubles for England and Australia at Roehampton, and singles for the USA and New Zealand at Hurlingham. One of today's singles matches is still unresolved. More on that shortly. Cordelia, you've been watching both tests. Where do you want to start?
England, without question. 3 doubles matches today, and England won all 3.
Avery and Birch took Forster and Pearce 26-25, then 26-0.
That second game is a statement. And Fulford and Good put triple peels on Hill and Bassett both times, 26-12, then 26-9. Fulford's peel in the final game, both occasions.
Death and 6-9, then McCormick and Berryman hit back 26-16. Before Death and Patel closed it out 26-1.
That middle game is the only one Australia have taken off England all day. The USA and New Zealand test is a different matter entirely.
6 singles matches today, and it split 3 matches each, with one still unresolved. Watson beat McCorkindale in 3, dropping the opener before winning the next 2. Chapman beat Essick in 3 the other way. Essick took the first, Chapman closed it out.
Balding swept 4 dice in 2, and Webby did the same to Rothman, tripling both times. Westerby beat Morgan in 3 as well, took the first, dropped the second, won the decider just an hour or so ago.
Which leaves Maloof against Bryant. Maloof leads 1-0, but that match is still in progress. We don't have a result yet, so we're not going to guess at one.
Quite right. Call it 3 matches each with 1 live, rather than a settled score.
So where we stand, in games, England 21, Australia 5, New Zealand 15, USA 13. And in matches, how many pairings each side has won outright? England lead Australia 10-2, and New Zealand lead the USA 7-4.
England's picture is exactly what you'd expect from the holders. The doubles were emphatic. And Australia's only success all day was 1 game from McCormick and Berryman.
Defending champions, and they look exactly like it.
The USA and New Zealand test is the one with something still to resolve. Today's singles finished level, and that Maloof-Bryant match could move the margin either way once it's done.
Round 2 at Sussex County pairs Round 1 winners against Round 1 losers. So how these tests finish will determine who faces whom next.
Which means that unfinished match carries real weight beyond today's card.
Round 3 runs at Surbiton, the 5th to the 9th of August, the final round, where the Shield is decided. The standout match of the day. And Cordelia, I suspect you had your eye on this one from the off. Fulford and Good against Hill and Bassett.
Both games, and the same result each time, a triple peel on the peg-out. 26-12 and 26-9.
Fulford, of course, bringing a record 7 MacRobertson titles to that partnership.
And it showed. Not in 1 game, but in 2. Australia's most experienced doubles pairing, and they were given no foothold in either game.
Hill and Bassett couldn't force a different outcome, and Fulford and Good didn't give them a moment to try.
The triple peel both times is the detail. It means they had the game under control before the peg-out, not scraping through.
Tomorrow it's singles again for England and Australia back at Hurlingham, and doubles again for the USA and New Zealand over at Roehampton.
And there's still the small matter of Maloof against Bryant to finish first, whenever that resumes.
21 games to 5, 10 matches to 2. There's not much suspense left in that test, but there's still a full day of singles to come before round 2.
The USA and New Zealand test is the one to watch. Level on today's card, and every match tomorrow adds to a margin that's still very much open.
We'll have all of it. The finish of today's business, and tomorrow's singles and doubles. Right here on the Croquet Desk.
That USA-New Zealand test is where I'll have my eye. Nothing's settled there yet.
All of that and more tomorrow here on the Croquet Desk. And that brings us to the close of play. Before we go, a brief word. This program is one of a whole stable of AI-hosted shows at myAIshows.com, sport and beyond, each with hosts of their own and free to sample. Do pay them a visit. Thank you, as ever, for your company. Do tell your friends, subscribe if you'd be so kind, and may your hoops run ever in your favor. Good evening.